Hello everybody, Alex Weaver here in Studio 3 with Zach, Jessica, and Jonathan from NASCAR.com. One of the biggest stories as a whole in NASCAR coming out of the 2018 season and now leading into 2019 was the new crew chief and driver pairings. We have some big news coming out of the HEMRIC camp in particular.
I was going to say the HEMRIC Motorsports shakeup was definitely some of the biggest news toward the end of last year. You know, you've got Mr. H coming in there and breaking up Chad KNAUS, Jimmie Johnson, shaking up everything, breaking up these pair that's won 7 championships together, and then in turn putting a 7-time crew chief in Chad KNAUS with William Byron, a young driver who's trying to find his footing in the Monster Energy Series. So I think it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think change was needed for that organization, but time will tell on how it will do.
I'm interested in Toyota and what Toyota's got going on. Denny Hamlin gets a new crew chief after going winless last year. Chris Gabehart comes over, but Mike Wheeler, goes over to Matt DiBenedetto at Levine Family Racing. I think that's the one to watch. I think that combination with the Toyota support and kind of the alliance with Joe Gibbs Racing over there, I think that's a sleeper team to watch. So I'm really interested to see what that 95 team is going to be able to do with Debo and Mike Wheeler paired up together in 2019.
Well, I'm going to be curious to see what's going on up the road in Welcome, North Carolina with Richard Childress Racing. I know there's a lot of excitement around their 50th anniversary season. They've got Daniel HEMRIC coming in for his rookie season. He's going to be paired with a veteran in Luke Lambert, and I imagine they'll be clicking pretty quickly. But I'm also curious to see, you've got Austin Dillon, who's the defending Daytona 500 champion. He's going to be reunited with Danny Stockman, and that pairing has worked in the past. They have a Truck Series championship, an XFINITY Series championship, and I'm interested to see if they can rekindle some of that magic, with the number 3 team next year.
All big moves, but I want to revisit this HEMRIC move because it was a big one. It was probably one of the most talked about stories out of the 2018 season and leading into 2019. Chad KNAUS stepping away from the 48 team, going to the 24. How does that affect HEMRIC Motorsports?
I think it'll be good for them. I think it was just time for a change with that organization. I don't think Jimmie needed a different type of crew chief or anything like that. I just think he needed a change, and same for Chad. And I think what Chad is going to do with William Byron in particular is going to be really interesting. He'll kind of get that leadership role with Byron, a young driver, and I think Mendering has some qualities that are similar to KNAUS. I think that's going to be beneficial for him too.
I'm curious to tune into the 24 radio, especially when we start down in speed weeks, because I think Chad is a person who can really light a fire under William Byron and kind of prod him and push him and motivate him in ways that maybe he hasn't had in his career. He brought a lot out of Jimmie. I'll be interested to see if he can do the same with Byron with the number 24.
I'm also wanting to tune into that radio as well because I think William Byron gets a little bit more hot under the collar than people think, and I think Chad can push him a little bit like he pushed Jimmie. But the big thing here is I think is the guts of Mr. HEMRIC to break up the pair. When the news came out, I mean, it's talked about every year, how long is Jimmie going to stay with Chad? Do they want to be together? But it happened. I'm interested to watch both sides of it. I think there could be some benefits there. Definitely William Byron is going to benefit big time from Chad KNAUS.
All right, well, a lot of shakeups in the 2018 season leading into 2019. I'm sure the radios and the scanners are going to be extremely interesting this season.